Assalamualaikum, I'm Siti Saleena, and today I'm going to show you about the things you can do by using Google Sheets. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to get access to Google Sheets, creating a simple table by using Google Sheets, how to use the sum function and minus function, insert a chart based on the data obtained, how to use the logical function if, how to use the conditional formatting, how to use the average function, logical function ifs, max function, and min function. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to use the COUNTIF function. Before you have access to Google Sheets, you first need to have a Google account. So you need to type Google account on the browser, then click create an account, fill in all your details. After your account has been set up, on your top right, there is a 9-dot icon which represents Google Apps. Click it and scroll it down until you find the icon which has sheet written down it. If you want to create a new spreadsheet, press the blank icon with an addition symbol over here. There you go. For your information, row runs horizontally and column runs vertically. To simplify, the numbers represents rows and the alphabets represents columns. So if you press this cell over here, it is called A2, and this one is called B5, and this one is called E2. Note that when naming the cell, you need to state the alphabet first, then the number. So for the first example, let's say you are given this data over here. You need to calculate the total salary of the 6 employees respectively. First things first, you'll need to key in the data. You can see that add columns are being used for the titles over here. So let's key in the titles in each column starting from B2 to I2. So there's an overlapping over here, but don't worry, you can adjust the size of column by dragging the end of the cell up here. There you go. You can fill the table header with any color by highlighting the title and click the fill color icon. So let me choose pink because I love this color. Then continue to key in the other datas. So to key in the ID, you don't need to key in one by one. You just need to simply type 1 and 2 so that the Google Sheet gets the algorithm. Highlight it, then drag the corner downwards. In this case, you just need until 6, so you can just highlight and click delete for the other numbers. So let's proceed to the overtime payment over here. You can calculate the overtime payment by entering the formula of equal 5.50 asterisk D3, where D3 is referring to Emirates overtime hour. The asterisk here represents multiplication. For the data below, you can just drag the corner of the cell downwards. Next, you need to calculate the EPF by entering the formula of equal F3 asterisk 0.11, where F3 is Emirates basic salary. Since we want to calculate the percentage, 11 is divided by 100. That is why there is 0.11 in the formula. Like before, for the data below, you can just drag the corner of the cell downwards. Last step, you can calculate the total salary by subtracting EPF from basic salary, then add overtime and allowance. For your information, another way to key in the formula instead of typing it one by one is by clicking the cell. Therefore, just type equal, then click cell F3 minus G3 plus E3 plus H3. Then simply click the corner of the cell and drag it downwards to obtain the rest of the data. So there you have it, the complete data. You can name this table by typing figure 1, employee total salary. To make it more tidy, you can merge the cell by highlighting cell B10 to I10, click format, go to merge cells and click merge cell horizontally. Below here, you can see the addition symbol. You can add sheet by clicking this icon and delete the sheet by right-clicking your mouse and click delete. For the second example, let's say you are given this data. You need to calculate the total income, total expenses, and savings. So, to calculate the total for monthly aid, we can insert the function of sum, SUM. Simply click the cell and drag your mouse downwards until the last value you want to sum up. We use the sum function and ways to obtain the total amount for monthly expenses and semester cost. For total income and total expenses, you can get the data from cell C8 and cell C18 respectively. To calculate the savings, you need to insert function operator and press minus, then click cell C22, C23. The next thing I'm going to show you is to create charts based on the data you have here. First, you need to highlight the data that you want to display in the chart, then click insert and go to chart. There you have it, a pie chart. You can also change the title by double clicking your mouse and type the title that you want. You can move the chart and adjust the size as you desire by clicking setup and go to chart type. You can see that there's a variety of charts you can choose from. So I'll choose bar chart over here. There you go. As you can see, the data doesn't change except for the title. So you can just edit the title right here. So for the next example, let's say your occupation is a teacher or a lecturer. Based on your students' marks, you need to identify whether your student's result is pass or fail. It's quite illogical for you to key in the results one by one. Therefore, by using Google Sheets, you can just insert a logical function called if. The spelling is IF. As you know, when the final mark is below 50, the result will be fail. But when the final mark is 50 and above, the result is pass. So I'm going to show you how to key in the formula. Based on the final marks in cell F2, when the mark is more or equal to 50, then type inverted commas, pass, inverted commas, inverted commas, fail, inverted commas. So there you have it. Make sure that you key in all the details in the formula to avoid error. Now that the Google Sheet got the algorithm, you just need to drag the corner of the cell over here downwards. There you go. Let's say you want to interpret the data easily. You can go to Format and click Conditional Formatting. Let's set the format rules to text contains. This means that when the cell contains the word pass, the cell will have a specific color. In this case, pass is a good thing. Therefore, I'll choose the color green. Let's add another rule. When the cell contains the word fail, F-A-I-L, the cell will also have a specific color. I'll choose red as a sign of warning. So there you have it. You can see the data more clearly now. The last example that I'm going to show you is on how to calculate the overall average marks obtained by each student, find out the grades they obtain for each subject, calculate the average marks of each subject, and to identify the highest and lowest marks obtained by the students for each subject. First, to calculate the overall average, you need to insert the average function. Click cell B4 and drag it to cell B11. Then press enter. To find out the overall average for other students, you just need to click the corner of cell B13 and drag it horizontally until you reach I13. Next, to find out the grades they obtain for each subject, you need to insert the logical function IFS. We use this function to give us a value from multiple conditions. Please let me clarify. Based on this data right here, when the marks is equal or more than 80, then the grade will be A. But when the marks is 60 to 79.99, then the student's grade will be B, and so on. But when the marks is below 30, that is 0 to 29.99, then the student's grade will be F. Let me show you how to key in the formula. Let's focus on one cell first. So based on marks in cell B4, when the marks is more or equal to 80, the grade will be A. When B4 is more or equal to 60, then the grade will be B. When the marks is more or equal to 45, then the grade will be C. When B4 is more or equal to 30, then the grade will be D. And when the marks is below 30, then the grade will be F. Make sure that you don't miss a single comma or inverted commas so that there will be no error. To obtain the rest of the data, this is the easy part because you'll first need to drag the corner of cell B16 downwards, then drag the corner of cell B23 horizontally until you reach I23. So there you have it. Now, to calculate the average marks of each subject obtained by every student in class 5 Brilliant, you'll need to insert the average function and click cell B4 and drag it horizontally until you reach I4. Press enter. Then, as usual, click the corner of the cell and drag it downwards to obtain the rest of the data. To identify the highest marks obtained by the students for each subject, you need to insert the function max, which represents maximum. Then drag cell B4 to I4 horizontally so that the Google Sheet can compare the data and identify the highest marks. Once you're done with that, press enter. You can see that 89 is the highest marks for maths subject. Once the Google Sheet has the algorithm, click the corner of cell L4 and drag it downwards. The same way is applied if you want to find the lowest marks obtained by the students for each subject. The only difference is that you need to insert the MIN function, which stands for minimum, because you are searching for the lowest marks. So here's some additional information. Let's say you want to find the total number of students for each grade and subject. You'll need to insert the function, go to Maths and click COUNTIF, COUNTIF. Click on cell B16 and drag it horizontally until you reach I16. Type comma, inverse commas, equal A, then inverse commas. Press enter, then as usual, drag the corner of the cell downwards to obtain the data for the other subjects. The same way is applied to get the number of students for other grades. The only difference is that you need to change the alphabet A to B, C, D, or F. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.